I'm Chip Woodall, and you're watching Drag Racing Storytellers at Competition Plus TV.
Do you think you're a better storyteller than you were a drag racer?
A way better storyteller, because I've been through a lot and seen a lot that most people never see, and I wouldn't take $1 million for all the stories, and because they go on and on and on, and most of them you couldn't publish anyhow till I die. But anyway, the stories are there. We were at Ontario at the World Finals one year, and there again, the Freights and Funk team brought a Kentucky moonshine there, and after the races, everybody was getting pretty tanked up. Well, I won't say his name, but a national, probably the best chassis builder in the world, he used to make bombs, which you couldn't do it anymore, but he'd make these bombs up, and they were like big firecrackers is what they were, and we had 7 of them, and we threw 2 or 3 of them off way away from everybody. It was after the races, and just to see how powerful they were. Well, before we finished, there wasn't hardly anybody in the pit area anymore. There was about 7 or 8 of those porta potties there. We thought we'd try one out and hit, and we threw one of them in there and slammed the door. And when this thing went off, it blew the door off this thing, it blew the roof off of it, and not to mention the stuff it blew out of this porta potty. And right after that, the highway patrol came and got us. And of course, we were out of bombs by then, so they told us to go back to Texas and don't be coming back to the state of California anymore.
How long before you came back?
Probably the next week. We were up in Indianapolis at the Indy race one year, and after we'd all qualified, Dale Funk and just Nickel and everybody, we were all standing in the grandstands, and we stood up for some reason when somebody was going to run or something, and I had on about a $500 pair of ostrich boots, and we were standing there, and Dale Funk from Kentucky, he was a prankster too. Well, he took an M80 back when the M80s were really something, and he stuck it underneath the heel of my boot while I was standing up there, and when this thing went off, it blew the heel off. It blew the heel off my boot, and it blew part of the bleacher through Lee that worked for Melodyne. It blew part of the splinters. He only had one leg anyhow, and it blew a splinter through the calf of his leg. He had to dig out. So that was kind of an exciting day too. And expensive.